Okay, let's get right into it. You've probably seen the headlines, maybe even gotten the all-company email yourself. This huge wave of strict return-to-office mandates is in full swing, and it's creating a lot of anxiety. So today, we're going to break down what's really going on, and more importantly, what your rights are under the law.
I mean, it really starts with the heavy hitters, right? We've all seen Amazon being very public with its RTO policies, really pushing for that in-office presence.
And it's not just them. Then you have companies like Dell throwing their hat in the ring, which just adds to this feeling that it's this unstoppable, industry-wide trend.
And of course, you've got the financial giants like JPMorgan issuing these super firm mandates. They're all sending the same message: the golden age of flexible work is over.
Now, what's really fascinating here is the language they're using. These announcements are often worded to sound absolute, some even saying flat out there are no exceptions. It's designed to feel like the final word, completely non-negotiable. But is it really?
Well, this brings us to a really crucial piece of federal law that those big company-wide emails conveniently forget to mention: the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA. You should think of this as your own personal legal shield against a one-size-fits-all company policy.
And this slide right here breaks down the fundamental difference perfectly. See, on one side, you've got the company's RTO policy. It's this big, broad blanket they throw over everyone. But the ADA, on the other hand, it doesn't work that way. It operates on an individual level. It legally requires your employer to look at your specific situation, case by case.
And look, this isn't just somebody's interpretation. This is explicit guidance from the EEOC. That's the federal agency that actually enforces these laws. So let's be crystal clear about this. The fact that your company sent a mass email saying everybody back in the office is not a legally valid reason for them to just deny your personal request for accommodation.
So you might be thinking, well, can a company ever say no? And the answer is yes, but only under some very specific circumstances. Let's talk about the one legal argument they might try to use, and why, for them, it's actually really hard to prove.
The magic phrase here, the legal term, is undue hardship. All that means is that for them to deny your request, they have to prove that letting you work from home would cause them significant difficulty or expense. Which, of course, leads to the multi-billion-dollar question, doesn't it? What on earth is truly a significant difficulty for a massive global corporation with nearly unlimited resources?
And here's the bottom line. For a large employer, this is an insanely high bar to clear. They can't just say they prefer everyone in the office for collaboration. No way. They have to actually demonstrate that you, specifically you, working remotely would cause a real, significant, and provable burden on their entire operation. And honestly, that is very difficult for them to do. Okay, so this is where we need to peel back the curtain a little bit, because there is often a huge difference between the tough talk you see in a company memo and the actual process that's happening behind the scenes in HR. Think about it like this. The C-suite sends out that firm RTO mandate for, business or cultural reasons. But down in the HR department, their job is to manage legal risk, and they know they are legally bound by the ADA. So while the public message is firm, they are quietly processing and approving well-documented requests because it's way cheaper than a lawsuit. This disconnect between what they say publicly and what they do privately, that works in your favor.
So knowing all this, how do you actually do it? How do you navigate this process? It's not about picking a fight. It's about correctly using the system that, by law, they have to provide. Let's break it down into a super clear 3-step action plan.
It really just boils down to these 3 things. Step 1, get your professional documentation together. This is the foundation for everything. Step 2, submit a formal request through the proper HR channels, not just a chat with your manager. And step 3, you engage in what's called the interactive process, which is really just the official dialogue between you and your employer.
Now, let's zoom in on the most critical part of this whole thing, your documentation. A simple doctor's note that says so-and-so should work from home is not going to cut it. It needs to come from a licensed professional. It has to clearly connect your specific condition to your functional limitations. And this is so important, it has to explain why being in an office environment specifically impacts those limitations. That right there is the foundation of your whole request.
So, if there's one thing you take away from all this, it should be that the intimidating, all-hands email about returning to the office, it's not the final word. It's the start of a conversation. It's a general policy, sure, but you have protected rights as an individual.
I really want this to sink in. It doesn't matter what your company's public stance is. It doesn't matter what your manager might say.
If you have a qualifying condition under the ADA and you have the strong professional documentation to back it up, the law is on your side. You have real enforceable legal protections, period.
And that leaves us with just one final practical question. The company has made its move. The law provides a clear path. The only question left is the one for you. Is your documentation ready to go?